Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon to all the geeks out there, and I will keep them and welcome to the first podcast of 2023. Can you freaking believe it? It's 2023 already. We've been doing this for far too long. Really, we have. We are here with two very special guests. We have Pengu, or Penguzilla from TwoIdiotsstreaming, and of course, good old friend, who you guys have known before, who's been on our channel multiple times already for these podcasts. Well, for podcasts, ZaffaGeek. So yes, both very good friends of the channel, have been friends of ours for years. So we're gonna get talking about what we're doing for this podcast. We've decided.
Also, disclaimer: if you hear other chats in the background, Pengu has kids playing fast, so they are going to most likely scream and get scared. But that is the background noise, in case anyone wonders.
In case you guys are wondering. Alright, so we're changing the podcast up for this year and going forward. What we're going to be doing now is playing games and talking about them. So you're going to see footage from the games that we play as well. If obviously the other creators decide to allow us to take some of their footage as well, we'll use it all and splice it in and show off everything from each one of our games so that everyone can see what we were doing. But we're going to talk about the games. We're going to do this like the good old days when game reviews were about the game. So let's get on with it and start talking about the one that has just come out, the most anticipated game of 2023 so far, Hogwarts Legacy. Right, guys, let's get chatting. My camera has moved again. But anyway, we'll disregard my camera and just talk.
We can't say too much about it because
we only just started.
Got delivered yesterday afternoon and installed late last night, so we're basically like in the beginning stages. But
yeah.
I know both of you have played quite a bit into it.
Yeah.
So that's also why we brought other people on, so we can go, oh look, we know this much.
Yeah, we know this much. I've literally just done the defense against the dark arts. That's my first class that I've done. That's it. I haven't even gone to the charms class yet, so that's how far I am in the game.
I got as far as the Hogwarts Legacy intro, and then I was really tired, so I went to bed.
How awesome is it just looking at it's just arriving there and seeing Hogwarts itself standing in front of you. I mean, goosebumps.
Yeah.
I was like, last night I thought to myself, I'm like, you know what? Ever since I've read the books, I'm like, I want to go to Hogwarts. And then this actually pulls it off.
Yeah.
I mean, there's hidden crap everywhere. You sit there and go like, I wonder what this does. Ooh, there's something I can do in the future. Oh, I can do this.
Yeah, I think I've spent most of the morning just doing that.
Exploring.
That's what I've been doing.
Yeah.
Literally just exploring things. I literally haven't done very much when it comes to the main quest. There's just so much else to do in the game.
And the big thing is, you get fast travel points, right? Mm-hmm. But you don't want to use them.
You don't.
Because you're like, okay, cool, what? I'm just going to walk all the way to the quest so that maybe I'll discover something.
Exactly. It's what can we find, you know? What interesting things can we find along the way?
Yeah, about 80% of my time playing the game was basically spending just, ooh, I can do this.
Yeah.
Oh, let's go do that. Oh, main quest? What main quest?
I've got over 10 hours worth of play and I still haven't even seen all of Hogwarts, and I've been exploring most of the time, so like I haven't seen the kitchen yet. I still need to find the kitchen.
There's literally one of the things, and this is not spoilery, but I'm not going to mention what it is. But one of the side stuff you can do, it's like, you kind of need a lower Mora to do that one. I'm like, oh crap, there's a lot of locked doors that I still need to find.
Holy crap, are there only a lot?
Even going to the hospital when you need a lower to get in.
Yeah, I've not been there yet.
Well, you know what's really
basically,
cool? Yeah?
Yeah?
No, carry on. Well, you sorry, I interrupted.
I basically made storyline progression without spoiling it. I've gotten the disillusionment. I'm right about there now, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, I'm a little bit further than that. Class-wise, I've done herbology and missions.
Oh yeah, I need to go to herbology now. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm just a little bit further than that.
Yeah.
What house are you in, Zaffa? Because I know Pengu is in Slytherin, so what house are you in?
I've done the test beforehand. Like one of my friends actually gave me like there's a test with more questions.
Yeah.
The advanced.
And while doing it like threw me into Ravenclaw and Gryffindor, and I ended up in Gryffindor.
You know what's
Yeah.
really funny is the same thing happened to me. At one point I was in Ravenclaw, and then I went onto the wizardingworld.com, and they put me in bloody Gryffindor. So I was like, huh? And then it's apparently because I'm chivalrous, so I tend to try and protect my friends and things like that. So. And I'm sorry if it gets darker, guys. The weather is changing and our lighting in here is not great as of yet. So my camera is going to be a bit darker than everyone else's. So again, I apologize. But yeah, so I was chucked into Gryffindor quite quickly there. It was quite funny. I don't know what I think. Kez is a Hufflepuff.
I'm a puff.
Yes. Kez went onto the site and she was chucked into Hufflepuff. So that's her.
Well, considering how kind she is, that really does
It does
suit.
fit.
Yeah.
It does fit. Yeah.
Their animal is that freaking weird mole-looking
Yeah.
thing, right?
It's a badger.
It's a badger.
Yes, a honey badger.
Looking thing.
Wait, what's the weird-looking mole thing then?
That's the honey badger.
It's a honey badger, dude.
With the long snout and everything.
Yes, it's a honey
Yeah.
badger.
Well, now I know what a honey badger looks like.
See, you learn something new every day.
Indeed. Yes. So no, it's quite interesting how the website, when you go through all of that, you do your Patronus. I've got a beagle as a Patronus, by the way.
Squirrel.
I'm a mastiff.
Ah, you're a Mastiff, and what are you, Zaffa? What's your Patronus? Have
Some
you-
sort of terrier.
Oh, you're a terrier as well. So you've got
Yeah.
like I'm a beagle. You've got a terrier as well. Cool.
Yeah.
It's quite cool. I don't know if you guys actually linked your accounts with the game as well. It actually takes
Yeah.
it takes your what your account on there into the game, and that's why it selected Gryffindor for me in the game as well. It's like you can take Gryffindor, but you can choose another house if you want to.
Oh, nice.
But
I think that's very
The
it
same
was-
with your wand is
Yeah,
going
the
to
wand
be
as
brought
well.
into it as well, which
yeah,
is awesome.
freaking epic. Yeah, I've got a hazel. It's a hazelwood with a dragon, a 12-inch hazelwood with a dragon heartstring core. So that's my one.
You know what I think is really cool is, and I'm biased because we live here, is that they're bringing a lot of the Scottish things into it. So like, I know when Pengu was playing, she came across the information about the Kelpies, and then there was the Argyllshire thing that came up and stuff like that. That's really cool. And it's interesting because
It
now
is.
people
They're
can
actually-
learn about where we live.
Yeah, they you can learn about Scottish history. They're a little bit of a little interesting side note about the Kelpies here. Just something that I've learned. They're actually not fantastical creatures that are good. They're actually demonic.
Oh, they're bad.
They're very
They're
bad.
very bad.
They're very
Don't touch a kelpie
and-
if you see it.
Yeah, never touch a Kelpie because it'll take you and drown you in the water. And then apparently, one of the myths is that they feed on you. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's actually, but I mean, I'm
Bad
obviously
horses.
I'm studying the I'm not studying it, but I've got a channel that I watch that actually tells me about the different histories of Celtic myths, and there's some really
But I've
interesting
got the
things.
same.
Yeah, so it's really
We've
cool.
got. I think it's the same channel that we're talking about here, but we're not saying it now.
Yeah, we're not mentioning the name now. It might be
Yeah.
the same channel that we're talking about.
If it begins with a J, then it would be the same one.
No. Mine
No.
begins with a C. Technically a
Okay.
C. But yeah, we'll talk about that after the video. So
Okay.
What do you guys think of the graphics for the game?
yeah, graphically, I mean, you guys are obviously playing on different.
my
You're playing on PC, so for you, it's obviously
Yeah, for
very
me,
different.
the stuttering is a bit annoying. But
You're
sometimes
getting
the stuttering
stuttering.
works in my it's like frame stutters.
Oh jeez, okay.
But sometimes
Yeah.
it works in my favor because I go light speed when I run. It's literally you start running, it lags a bit, and all of a sudden, not lags, it just like stutters. You run, and all of a sudden it's like light speed. You just run everywhere. I'm like, yes.
And mine hasn't been doing that. Mine does a thing where it freezes, but it freezes for I think all of maybe 5 seconds, and then it comes out, and it hasn't frozen during any of my combat phases, so it's fine. As long as it doesn't do that during combat, I'll be okay.
That would piss me off.
There's sometimes where the loading takes a little bit longer than it should, in the sense of when you open a door. Like when I started playing it on Tuesday was the 7th, Yeah. When I started playing it on Tuesday, like everywhere I went, I opened the door and I just go through. And now there's a bit of like, hey, we're loading the area now. It's like, okay.
Oh, it's when you go from inside to outside, that's when it does the loading.
No, for me it was smooth on Tuesday.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Mine's been like that from the start. As soon as I go
Like-
from inside to outside or outside to inside, it's like the new area starts loading.
Yeah. What happens is that little loading icon would show up when I go outside, but it wasn't as prominent as it was last night. It was like, it was, you see the loading signs, like, why is the loading sign? Oh, and then you're outside.
I honestly haven't had that.
No.
So
But again, we've
only just started, but I haven't had the loading come up. But also, big differences between obviously playing on PC and PlayStation. We've got the PS5 version, so we've got our controllers with the haptic feedback and all that stuff. It's really funny how when you cast spells, with the trigger, if you tap the trigger and you don't push it all the way in, you can actually, if you push it all the way in, it clicks. Like you can, because there's the force feedback on the 2 triggers, so it pushes back. So basically, if you don't push it all the way in, you can cast just your attack spells a lot faster. So your standard attack spell, you can basically, if you just do it, he does it a lot quicker. But whereas if you push it in, it takes longer, because obviously then it's thinking that you're trying to select a different spell.
Yeah.
So I figured out how to do that. But the haptic feedback is amazing on the controller. When the wind blows, it actually feels like it's blowing on your hands. So it doesn't literally like feel like the wind's blowing in your hands, but you know,
in the beginning where you cross the bridge,
the vibration is like you know that it's wind blowing, because the vibration actually vibrates like wind blowing. And if a rock falls on a certain side, it clatters on that particular side of the controller. It's unbelievable. One thing I've got to say is Sony really, these guys really outdid it with Sony, outdid themselves with the Sony controller, and working with that haptic feedback and actually giving it that extra feeling. When you stroke a cat and it purrs, you can feel the purring in the controller.
Wow.
That is awesome.
Wow.
I wasn't expecting that, because I was sitting there and I like stroked the cat and the cat started purring. There's obviously a little microphone in the controller as well, and it purrs, so you can hear the cat purring in the little not the microphone, the speaker, the little speaker in the controller. You can hear the purring in the controller, but you can, if you feel just carefully, just slight purring, you can actually feel it in the controller as well. It's amazing. And then what I did to my cat, because she's sitting next to me, I stroked the cat and I put it next to her, and she freaked out. She got the fright of her life. She didn't
He did
expect
it to twist Snowbell.
And she's like looking for this cat. She's like, where's this cat? Then she looks at the controller and she starts sniffing it, because it's purring at her and she's not understanding why. So I thought that was quite cool. But
Also,
yeah.
talking about the cats, every time I see one, I pet it.
Oh yes, me too.
Same.
It's like it
It's a
is
rule.
force. It's
You have
force
to stop
of
and pet
habit.
the cat.
Yes.
You have to stop and pet the dog. You have to stop and pet the animal.
Indeed.
You can't just walk off.
Exactly.
Rule number 1.
Just a quick thing. I regret my decision yesterday.
Oh no.
What did you do?
You hear that?
What did you do? That must have been a very bad idea.
Yeah, and it's continuing tonight as well.
Suffice to say, while Kez is playing Hogwarts, I'm going to be watching you suffer.
I have the best ones. Well, not the best ones. These are my second class eggs.
knockoff mini eggs. Those knockoff mini eggs. So. Yeah, Kez is not happy because it hasn't got chocolate
It's
jelly,
not
and
speckly eggs.
it's not a proper speckly egg where it's got the little jelly on the inside as well. She doesn't like the fact there's no jelly.
That's why it's a second class egg.
Yeah.
Oh, also, I freaked out at Hogsmeade.
I haven't been to Hogsmeade
Haven't
yet.
been there yet.
Yeah, I'm
what's
so
the-
looking forward to going there.
Honeydukes. Oh man, I'm sitting there going.
Oh, yeah.
That's the problem. If this existed, I would have been a fat kid. I was looking at that. I'm like, I'm gonna eat everything.
I've sort of got a mission at the moment. Is anytime I come across any food, I eat it.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's
I
what I
want
do
to
as
see if
well.
there's an award or that for eating all the food in Hogwarts and the Hogwarts game, and if there's not, it's okay. I've eaten all the food in Hogwarts and the Hogwarts game. That's a winner. So
And drinking all the tea.
Yeah, I found a tea
And
in
look at
the Dark Arts Tower. I actually found a tea there. I was like, oh, I'm going to drink that tea. Why not? I literally, when I see the square button and it says push square, I push it. It's like for anything.
Yeah.
If you walk past a globe, I spin the globe. And if I walk
Yeah.
past something else, I spin it. So I do something with it. I always press square.
I don't know if I'm imagining it or it's a Mandela effect or whatever. But when you start the game and you spin globes, you physically spin it with your hand. But the moment you've got the wand,
Spin
you
it with
point
the
your
wand.
wand at the globe. Yeah.
I don't know. If
Yeah.
I think that's what happens. I don't know myself. I wasn't paying that much attention.
I was like, wait a minute. I'm not touching the globe anymore. I'm pointing my wand at it. And I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, cool. Yeah.
That is quite cool. But yeah, no, graphically this game is look, we've got like the ray tracing and all that stuff that the PS5 gives. So graphically the game looks unbelievable and
No,
performance
it's
wise.
beautiful.
Yeah. And we don't use. You see, when I select a game, I don't normally select it for performance. I select it for looks, because I generally play single player games.
Pretty.
So I don't need to have the whole, I'm competitive, I must compete and be best at everything, so performance is key. Now I'm like, no, I want pretty.
Yeah.
So I always select the ray tracing and make sure that that everything is perfect for my games, so that it looks epic. And holy crap, does it only look good. I think they've done a very good job with the engine that they've used, because I mean, it's not even a new engine, which is actually surprising that they managed to actually get such a great design out of an older engine, because it's not one of the new design engines. It's actually an older one. So graphically, I think the game has come out very well. It's actually very pretty. From well, at least from my opinion. And there goes Kez.
Yeah.
She just turned the
I
light
mean,
off, I think.
it's done well enough that it is incredibly immersive, and that you genuinely feel like you are in Hogwarts. You
yeah.
are the Hogwarts student.
Yeah, exactly.
And I found there's the only time that it ended up breaking the illusion was when when I was going past exploring the world itself. So past Hogwarts and that, there's one or two trees that didn't load. But it also didn't completely break the illusion, because like, is that a magic tree? You have to go up close to it. It's like, oh no, the texture just didn't load, because it has that colorful texture thing going on. You can see it just didn't load in. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, no,
with
not really.
the developers of this game, they're Harry Potter fans.
You
You
that
see it
they're Harry Potter
everywhere.
fans, exactly. There's no doubt that they're Harry Potter fans, because holy crap, did they take into account every little thing. I swear, I was actually quite blown away by how immersive the story is. If you compare it with like the books and the movies, it's like you actually feel like it like they've actually focused on giving you that story. From that point of view. Sorry, Kez is throwing me off a bit here, so I may have spoken a bit weirdly there. I apologize.
And I mean, it's like the area where I was with regards to the herbology section, the side quest you get before you go to herbology class. I'm trying not to spoil everything.
Yeah, please don't.
It's difficult.
That
It
is
is difficult, yeah.
actually, I've watched table stories, witchcraft and wizardry,
Yeah.
and they actually it takes place when Harry's older kid is like in fifth year, right? So they go back into the past through some things in the story, and they visit that section. I'm like, what? This is freaking awesome.
Nice. That is pretty cool. And yeah, I mean,
What do you guys think of the story so far?
yeah. What do you guys think of the story so far? You guys have gone
loving
further
it.
than we have, so you would know.
Loving it, and the fact that they are using existing lore, because I mean the whole thing. Obviously, you know there's goblin in it.
Mm.
The whole thing with the goblins and that is something that was already talked about, already explored in that before this game was even a thought.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
that for me is
that
like,
was actually really awesome. When I saw when they were talking about the Goblin Revolution, I'm like, I remember that from the books. That is so cool that they're actually bringing it in. You're seeing that part of the story. It is so cool. You know, you're basically learning the history before Harry Potter, basically.
Well, it's set
It's
in the
1800s.
so
Yeah.
it's way before Harry Potter.
Yeah, it's 19th century basically. It's quite far back.
And it's quite cool when you like discover the older generation of the people you've met in the book, like their ancestors.
yes,
Sort of. It's
Professor
like,
Weasley and that.
Yeah.
yeah,
And Professor Black as well, who's Sirius Black's ancestor.
Even Gaunt. You come across Gaunt in that near the beginning. I'm pretty sure you guys have already somehow met him in that. And I mean, Gaunt is Slytherin, Salazar's Slytherin's ancestors. What's it? Her name, but she was Voldemort's mother. So it's like it's learning that whole history of, oh, I know which visit you're going to end up having.
Yeah, exactly. It's actually really intriguing. So it's and the way they've actually brought you in as well, it doesn't feel like it's forced. So you know, they actually, it's like when you start the game and they bring you in as a fifth year, they're like, it's very unorthodox that they would bring you in, well, that they're bringing in a fifth year. But I guess in these times it's very strange, and I was like, that is actually really well done. They didn't force the whole, you know, oh well, you just happened to be there as a fifth year, you know. It's like you were welcomed into the school weirdly, you know. It's not normal for this to happen, but you're going to catch up with everyone else now, so you have to do all of these other things as well. You've been given that guidebook that'll help you catch up with all the other students. I thought very well done. It actually definitely brings you in. Zaffa, you want to say that?
I mean,
Sorry.
I'm sorry.
I'm just smiling the more you talk about this. I'm like, oh my, you don't even know half of it.
No, of course not. I mean, I've only just
I'm
started.
sitting here going, don't say anything. Don't say anything.
Yeah, the other thing though with it is that they could have gone the route of, okay, well you're a first year and oh no, you're super powerful. Okay, we'll explain it somewhere down the thing. But now with them bringing it in as your fifth year, it sort of explains away a lot of things. But well, you can just do this. You know, you know how to do like your first spell in dark arts.
Yeah.
You know, it's like you know how to do that because, well, you've had a professor that's been teaching you. You're technically, you know, 5 years down the line when you're supposed to have learned all this stuff. So it makes more sense. It brings you more into the thing, and especially for us adults that are playing it, I think we can relate better with an older student than a 10-year-old.
Yeah, definitely. No, it's very well done. I thought that was great. No, what do you guys think of the spell mechanics and how you have to learn spells? How cool
That
is
was
that?
freaking cool. One of my viewers are like, why don't you do that every time you cast a spell? I'm like, I won't remember the movement.
Yeah, do you actually think you're going to be able to remember that every single time? You will crap, and you'll actually lose so many fights if you do. So it's best if you just do it once. Yeah, exactly. It's best to do it once and then never again.
I mean, they explain, like, sort of, they explain how, it just makes mechanically more sense.
It does, especially if you're in a fight, because it's going to take... Firstly, there's two ways the fight can happen, all right? If you have to do it that way, there's two ways it'll happen. One, you'll always die.
Yeah.
Unless you have an eidetic memory, you will always die. Or two, the fights will take forever.
Yeah.
Or you're going to be spamming the same spell over and over again.
Yeah, exactly, because you're sick and tired. Yeah, because you're sick and tired of doing everything else, you know. You just want the one spell because you know how to do it, you know? Yeah, it's your go-to, basically.
Yeah. No, I mean, Another thing is the way they introduce new mechanics. I'm just saying Hogsmeade's End. That caught me off guard. You'll find it,
Oh, yeah.
when that happens, you'll be like, oh shit, this is what he talked about. This is what he spoke about. Like, what?
Kez was
A
missing
new
for that
thing?
part of the
I
stream,
was
so she doesn't even know.
No.
A new thing? You're like, what? Oh, this is awesome. And then you start using that quite a lot. It's like,
And also,
And I mean, it's all very organic the way that they give you the tutorial. It doesn't feel like, okay, here's a tutorial and now you must do this and do this and do this. It goes it step by step and allows you, it doesn't overwhelm you with, oh cool, here's everything that
Everything
you
at
can
once,
do,
yeah.
everything, and then you go try and remember.
It's as you're
Does
going
it
along.
systematically. Exactly. So you actually remember now, okay, well now I've gotten this down. Okay, cool, now I can get this down. And even in combat, they still teaching, I mean, even now I'm still learning new things in the combat and that, and they'll give a thing and say, okay, well, doing this will do that. And it's
Yeah.
like, okay, cool.
yeah,
and I mean, 90% of the side quests actually teaches you the mechanics. I'm sitting
exactly.
there
Yeah.
going, oh. So it's like mechanics hidden in side quests, and it's like, okay, cool.
Yeah,
So there's a
It makes it
reason for you to do
worthwhile
side
actually
quests.
doing the side quest.
yeah. Instead of just rushing through the story, it's something I never do. I don't generally rush through stories.
But
I
for
tend to
those who
to play
do,
games
Now
in their
they
entirety.
for those who usually do rush through the story, hey, guess what? Now you have to do the side quest so that you can learn how to play it.
I think I'll just lean forward
Sorry
because the
for
light's
you.
actually here. You can see my face a bit
I-
better.
I need to say though, the symbols puzzle had me stumped. The symbols,
Same.
and I'm sitting there going, and everybody in my chat's like, oh, we figured it out. And I look at it, I'm like,
Is this
I'm a
that one with
streamer,
that
not a
door?
mathematician.
Is this the one with that door where it's 17 and 21?
Yeah.
I'm
Yes.
still
Yeah.
baffled.
On it.
I'm still baffled. Kids walks in
Okay,
because
so-
I'm busy looking at something and I'm
There's
looking
a
at it.
paper you'll find that will explain
I thought
things.
so. I thought I'd
Yeah.
have to carry on further before
If
I go
you-
in because I was like, I
No.
don't understand this.
So if you know what it's based off of, you can figure it out.
Yeah, I'm not a
But-
mathematician though, so I don't.
The only hint I'm going to give, if you're in the rafters, you're in the right spot.
Oh, well, that helps. But there was that piece of paper flying around that I thought I might have to catch because that might be what I need to actually use.
No. Just go explore the rafters. They'll literally, you sit there, you look, and it's like, oh, this is the answer.
I probably will. Look, I'm probably going to discover it at some point. It's just I obviously was like, okay, pointless carrying on if I'm not sure what's going on here. So because
Because
Kez
he
walks
sat
in.
for about 5 minutes
At
trying
5,
to
it was
figure
like
it
10
out.
minutes, and Kez walks in and she looks at me and she goes, "Zzz, poof." As if like
That's the
fuses
look
are
he
blowing
had
in my
on his
head.
face.
You can see smoke coming out of my ears soon, you know. But yeah, that's also quite cool. Is the puzzle mechanics that they put into the game quite you
And I
know.
know there's trolls
Nice.
because Pengu said that there are trolls.
But also, it's in the trailer too. You see the trolls.
Yeah. The secrets that they've got, so I know that there are apparently 3 secrets in Hogwarts itself. I found one of them. And I mean, when you find out what the secret is and how to actually do it, it's like the accomplishment and that you feel on it. It's like, okay, so Zaffa, for
You
you,
need to explain a
little
little
bit
bit more about the secrets.
Without
Okay, so
spoiling it.
I don't know if you've been outside and that and seen on the bridge the braziers.
No, I haven't been that far outside, no.
Okay, so but there's a bridge and that outside hooking 2 of the castles together, and you'll see there's braziers and you'll see there's things on it, and it's like, you figure that out. That's the only secret I've been able to figure out. There's another part where there's like a map, and I've been able to figure out I can do something with Accio, but what it does, don't know, and how to do it. It's like, there's
That's
something
freaking
more with
awesome.
this.
I know. Yeah. That's pretty damn easy. Yeah. Are you talking about the paintings as well as part of the secrets?
You're talking about the moths.
Yeah.
No, that's not part of the secrets. No, the thing is, when I did the brazier thing and figured that out, it literally came up and popped up with, you have completed one of Hogwarts' secret missions. So,
Okay.
yeah, it's like,
Okay.
so there's, and each area has X amount of secrets. that you can find out.
So that's another thing you unlock as you progress. Okay.
And then, I mean, if you also go to the map as well, you'll see on the side the little key of found X amount of chests. That's where you'll see found X amount of secrets. And like, you know, what's it? I know that at some point, because I keep seeing the demiguise statues around, I'm like, that's important somewhere. That's going to be important. And then you see on the map that it says demiguise statues found. It's like, okay, that is important. Now I need to remember where I've seen all of them and I can't remember.
Is there anything
you're constantly rediscovering?
Is there anything you really, really want to have happen in the game or see in the game that you're like as you progress?
I want to find the Chamber of Secrets.
I know where it is. I found where the entrance is. And then I had a whole thing of I want to bring Gaunt there because he's the only one that can speak in parcel tongue since he's Salazar's descendant. But Akio, Leviosa doesn't work on Gaunt.
Oh, whoops, my bad.
So I don't know how we'd actually open it up if we could.
I know I've been close to the area. I'm like, I know where this leads. I know where we're gonna go here.
Well, you get one of the little pages and that where you actually find where the exact basin is for the Chamber of Secrets.
Okay.
It's got a little note and everything, and then it gives a little description, and you read the description like, I know what's there. I need to find a parcel tongue person.
And I mean, they filled the entire world with so much lore, especially with the pages you got to get. You know.
Oh yeah.
And you sit there going like, oh, this is quite cool. Oh, this is I mean,
it's like the freaking the buffalo sitting on top of the
that was so
first one
funny.
you find. The first one you find. Yeah.
It's like,
Oh, God.
this is what happens if you mispronounce the spell. It's being crushed by a buffalo.
Well, that wasn't one of the first ones that I found because I started off in the dungeon being a Slytherin. And
You were
so
Slytherin,
the first one that I got was the Kelpie statue.
Oh, nice.
Okay. That makes sense, yeah.
Well, and that, I think, is also something so awesome is the fact that each house has got a different experience. Although it's the same, it's different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder then if I'm gonna be able. Maybe that's part of the story with Gaunt.
Well, I mean,
wonder if that's
Gaunt
part of
hasn't been brought into the story in the sense of this is now a dude that, you know, you're going to go off with or whatever. It's just in passing, like he was in the common room, the Slytherin common room, and I could actually go and talk to him and introduce myself. He said, no, he's Gaunt. You know, and that's sort of where it kind of ended. And I've seen him walking around, or not walking around, sitting around in like the dark arts towers and that. So he just sits there. He doesn't actually, you know, he's not quite that interactive. But the thing as well that I love about this is the disabilities that they bring in. So I mean, like Gaunt is blind. They don't go and like flash it in your face and be like, oh, you know, this is a disability.
Yeah.
They're doing it in a way that it's inclusive. Oh, well, you know what? Having disabilities is not an issue. It's not a problem. It's just, you're normal, just like everyone else.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's the whole thing. You know, but that also is a character trait that he had in the books as well, was that he was blind. You know, it was the lore is that Gaunt was blind, so it makes sense that they would keep that as is.
But then Zaffa has a point that maybe it's because you're part of Slytherin that you could speak to him.
Yeah, because obviously Gryffindors can't speak to him because I'm obviously a Gryffindor, and I believe that Zaffa is a Gryffindor too. You met the three that the Weasley firstly, who acts like the twins. He's mischievous.
So I've met him in Potions, but that's it. Is that was the first time I met the Weasley. I haven't met the Hufflepuff that's going to take us through. I've met, because each house has got a main character that's like a secondary character that takes you on a main quest. So like with Gryffindor, it's more snatty.
Yeah.
With Slytherin, it would be Sebastian.
Yeah.
I think I've met the Ravenclaw dude, who is very much head in the sky, you know, all about astronomy and that. I can't remember his name. I think that's going to be him, but I'm not 100% sure. And then I haven't met the Hufflepuff at all.
Well, once I get there,
I've
I'll
not
tell
come
you.
across.
Yeah, because Kez is gonna go. She's more than likely gonna go have Hufflepuff because she
Yeah,
is
well,
anyway.
I suspect you'll then find her first. Because
Yeah,
I know it's a
probably.
female, that's all I know.
So Zaffa, what did you not find? Did you not find Weasley? The
In the common
in
room.
the common room. He's right there. You can't miss him.
He's got curly hair. He's
Look for the red
ginger.
hair.
Look for the ginger dude.
That's a no.
That's a no.
I chatted to him, and you know when he
It's
spoke.
the first 3 people that you have to speak to. I was
Yeah.
sitting next to Ziff when he was playing. That's how I know.
Wait, the dude with the red hair?
Yes.
Yes, he's a Weasley.
I didn't pay attention there. I didn't pay attention.
He acts just like the twins. He actually acts just like the twins do. He's got that mischievous, that mischievous. You can see he's mischievous.
For breakfast.
Yeah, well, no, it wasn't
Oh,
butterbeer
it's
for
the
breakfast.
one where it's like, oh, it's nice to have your aunt here.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah,
like, yeah,
that
not
dude.
really,
Yeah, not really.
That guy.
She follows me around and treats you like a first year. But he if you listen to the notations in his voice, you can hear he's mischievous, like his
Fred and
his,
But no,
his Fred and George
is
are.
you find stuff around, and that's the awesome thing, is that you actually find things around the school and other students that
Yeah.
then talk about other students and what they've done, and you hear about the misdeeds and the mischief that they've gotten up to, all the good things or the bad things that they've done. And it's just, none of it feels forced. I think that's what makes this game so incredible,
Yeah.
is that none of it feels like it's forced and pushed in your face and, hey, listen, yeah.
Yeah.
It all feels so
You have
natural.
to
It
do
feels
this
like
or
this is
else.
what it's supposed to be.
Yeah, exactly. It's
And
not
then
like
it
a.
also gives nodbacks to what's it, the PS1 game, and that when we were first playing the Harry Potter game.
I actually didn't play them though. To
One
be
of the
honest.
one of the secrets that you could find in the PlayStation 1 game. One of those little secret passages is actually in Hogwarts Legacy itself.
Oh, that's pretty cool. The fact
So
that
you
they're bringing
can
that back
actually
in is
find
quite
that-
nice. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, granted, you got to keep going, Revelio, to find
Yeah.
Well, you're
What
very
is
good
it?
at that stuff.
Expectations of the game. Avada Kedavra. Reality of the game.
Revelio.
Revelio.
That's the whole thing. It's like everyone's thinking, oh no, it's gonna be cool because you can. Yeah, well, I mean, it is
You're gonna
cool. The game
love
is
it.
freaking epic, but I mean, it's like, oh, I'm
Kill
gonna be able to run
everyone.
around and just go Avada Kedavra to everyone. No, you're gonna be doing Revelio more than anything.
Yeah.
You're gonna be an adept Revelio spellcaster.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
When you're in combat, Revelio.
Yeah, fight with someone. Revelio. Oh, fuck, wrong one.
Yeah.
You're just gonna get so used to pressing that button.
Yeah. Okay, you know what? You can't really make the mistake of casting Revelio in combat, though. It's really hard to do that. Because you know you've got your buttons on the right, which is what I do like using Leviosa and the attack at the same time, though. That's pretty cool. The fact that you can actually disable your enemy when he puts a shield up just by going Leviosa, lift him up, and then just nail him.
Yeah.
But then he tries to do
And-
it to you, and it can reflect. If you time it right, it can reflect back on him, and he'll do it to himself. That's also quite cool.
They this is not a spoiler, but there is combos. Different spells,
Oh,
different
nice.
combos.
That's going to be nice to actually do. I'd like to actually see what kind of combos I can get.
And the best part is the moment you unlock something, I'm not gonna say what it is. The moment you unlock something in combat, they actually tell you it's beneficial to use combos for this reason.
Yeah, they give you the breakdown of, okay, this one and this one and that.
Yeah.
And
I
why?
kinda
But they
figured
also
that
they also like you figure out like, oh, I get this when I do the combos. Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
When you're in the like I said, I only got to
Enemy.
play the first part, like the
Enemies.
prologue.
Prologue,
I
yeah.
guess it's called.
Introduction.
Yeah. And when you're in the when you're in the fight scene with Professor Fig and he's doing the different combos at once, I kind of figured, well, at some point you have to learn how to do all of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's pretty cool that you can do it.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. And I
Also, Peeves is irritating. I'm just saying.
I met him. I saw him
Yeah.
once, but I mean, I wasn't really. I walked up to him because
No. You're gonna You're point where it's like, I'm trying to listen what these people are saying.
Yeah,
Why is
fucking
Peeves
Peeves
screaming
running
in
at
the
you.
background?
No, not just that. I mean, storyline as well. There's a point
yeah.
where Peeves comes and messes with you, and you're like, dude, really? Like, go mess with the teachers. Don't mess with Professor Black, please.
Just leave me alone, asshole.
Exactly.
So we've done all the good. Is there any bad aside from the like laggy stuff? Is there anything bad that you have come across at the moment?
Like the big thing for me, especially with keyboard and stuff, with the spells, especially with the combos, I've set it up so it's easier for me to pull the combos. And then just all of a sudden I'm going, okay, I'm going to do these 2 combos because that's the only 2 combos I know currently. I'm going to do these 2 combos, and in the middle of one, Incendio, it's like, no. Or all of a sudden it's like, Lumos. I'm like, no, Lumos, no.
And then you gotta wait for that cooldown period and that.
Oh,
Yeah,
that
but
sucks.
I would chalk that up more to player error than game error, and that's
Yeah,
I do
fat
the same
finger
thing.
error, like, yeah.
Yeah,
But
no, I do the same thing.
I don't see anything. I haven't found anything bad yet, or con-wise yet.
Other than the lagginess that you guys are getting, which is obviously a graphical
It's slight. It's just
Yeah,
it's
and it's
just
a slight-
stuttering. It's just stuttering. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, well, look,
And I
it still is
believe
an
it's
issue, but
because-
it's something that can be fixed. So I suppose it's something that can be
Yeah,
fixed eventually.
It's essentially
nothing to-
essentially the whole shader thing loading.
Yeah.
In the beginning, you notice the stutter quite a lot, and then eventually it's basically non-existent.
Yeah, I think what upsets me is that there's no Quidditch as of yet. I know that they're probably going to bring it in because there has been talk of them bringing Quidditch in, but at this point there's no Quidditch, which would have actually made it quite fun to actually do as well, because then you can play Quidditch in game. You know?
Yeah, I believe like they're probably working on the system to get it to work, because
the
Quidditch
field
is quite.
there. It's
Well,
there. So
they did say that part of the reason that they didn't bring Quidditch in is because it would have delayed the game coming by
yeah,
at least a year, if not longer. So they rather decided, let's rather bring it out, and then we can always
be a
work on
DLC,
it as a DLC.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, you know, the way that they've explained it as well, why there's no Quidditch in the game,
It's a good
makes so much
explanation.
sense according to lore as well, and
Yeah.
Winter Black and all that. It's like,
Yeah, it
well,
makes
you know,
the thing
there's
is,
a
like-
reason why he's the most hated Hogwarts headmaster
Headmaster,
ever.
yeah.
And I mean, everything has a reason in the game.
Yeah.
And you don't go like, oh, this is bullshit. Oh no. It's like, no, everything has a reason in the game. Also, I realized that I would have been the most sweariest character, Gryffindor. If I was in Hogwarts, really, I would have been the most sweariest Gryffindor there.
Yeah, me too, dude. Don't worry, you're not alone there. You're not alone there.
Pingu, is there anything bad for you at the moment?
Honestly, no. I mean, you know, I was sad about the not having the Quidditch lot, but I get why.
That's
And
what
I
I
said
said
when I
earlier.
heard that you can't or can't do multiplayer with
Yeah.
it, but again, I mean, you know, this game is an awesome standalone game, single player that, you know what, it's like, this is Skyrim. This is my new Skyrim. I don't mind.
Yeah.
Which also means it's going to but that's
Yeah, and the big thing is also about there's just so many good things. Like, come back to us like probably 2-3 months from now,
Yeah.
and we'll be able to be like, oh, we didn't like that.
Yeah, and we might be able to. That's
Well,
the
there
whole
you
thing.
go.
So
2-3 months from
yeah.
now, we will
Yes.
have another one.
We will have another one.
definitely,
Hogwarts
yeah.
2.0.
But
Hogwarts Legacy revisited.
they've literally like, okay, this is not much of a spoiler, especially if you watch the trailers and whatnot. But the moment you sit there and go like, okay, cool, this is Hogwarts. Oh, okay, cool, there's the Forbidden Forest. Oh, there's Hogsmeade. And then you get to a point where it's like, wait, the map is bigger.
I saw
You're like,
that, yeah.
yeah.
Wait, what?
Yeah,
It's more to explore.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden they're like, oh, these are the things you can discover. I'm like, wait, what? Like, what? What?
So it's certainly Skyrim.
It's not instant. Everything links up,
Yeah.
as far as I can tell. Yeah.
Yeah. And you know that one of the developers, they went and played the game from start to finish with all the side quests. And considering this is a developer that knows where everything is, it took them 80 hours to complete the full game to 100%.
That's actually really
And
good.
this is someone who knows what's going on, knows where the thing's on, knows where to find it, and it took them 80 hours.
Yeah,
So
it just shows how good the game is. Yeah.
Incredibly playable. This is going to give us so much time and that with it.
Yeah, and the
Yeah.
replayability
Definitely
as well,
will.
because you can actually switch houses, and obviously each one will have a different. You'll have different, you know,
stories.
not
Experiences,
yeah,
yeah.
experiences. The stories will
There'll be a
arc,
main
and
story,
they'll do that.
I'm pretty
But
sure with every house they'll have like house-specific things that you need to do as well.
yeah, which is quite good. I like how they've actually put this together. I think this is going to be one of those games that is going to actually, like you said, it's the next Skyrim, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be the next Skyrim. It's worthy.
And
of
I
it.
mean, there's like, you get to a point in the game, or I've reached that point in the game where I'd walk somewhere and I'll see like a glyph, or not a glyph, but like something on the floor that's just part of the decoration. And I look at it, I'm thinking this means something.
yeah,
You know, it
exactly.
probably doesn't, but you're
you
like,
never know.
this is meaning. Like,
I found
like
out
with the moths, you see them and it's like, cool, this is weird, and then all of a sudden you get the reason why it's there, and you're like, oh god,
Yeah.
this is amazing. But on that note,
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to start load shed prepping.
We
Yeah,
we have
we're
to
actually
call
we're going to call it on this one. So, firstly, before you go though, we need to know, what are your scores? What do you guys
So
reckon
far.
so far the game deserves at this point? I mean, you guys have played more than we have. We can't actually give a decent score at this point, but you guys have played enough to actually give a decent score.
Okay, my score is weird. I'm gonna have to quickly explain it.
Okay.
My score is something out of beard, right? But the something is it's like B out of beard, or BE out of beard. Currently, beard out of beard, 10 out of 10.
Nice. Beard out of beard.
Yeah.
So that's a good one.
Mango?
Finger, what's
Yeah,
yours?
no, look, I'm right on that. 10 out of 10. This game has not disappointed. You know, if you think about games like Diablo and that, how we were so looking forward to it, we then play it and it's like,
It's disappointing, yeah.
okay, I mean, yeah, it wasn't a bad game, but the hype for it was up so much more than what the actual game produced. This game, I honestly don't think there was enough hype behind it
Yeah.
because of just how much it produced. And as I said, just that first look of walking into Hogwarts and you see it and you're like, I'm a skeleton! And you get goosebumps and feeling that.
Yeah, I've never smiled so much while playing the game.
Yeah, and that's
Okay.
awesome. Yeah, that's
I actually
great.
caught some of you you playing some of it last night, and I saw the smile. I'm like, oh, he's enjoying it. It's so
Yeah, I've never smiled so much while playing a game.
No, that's great. And
we are
that's,
gonna let you go there.
yeah, we're gonna let you go now.
Yeah,
so,
please.
You go and load shed
and
prep,
then we'll finish off.
and then we'll finish.
Load
off.
shed prep. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
so-
thanks guys.
Thank you,
Zaffa, thanks for joining
Talk to
us.
you guys again at least 4 months from now.
Yes, at least 4 months from now. Yes, we've got.
Well,
other-
we're gonna have to talk tomorrow.
Yes, we've got a couple of other podcasts coming up, so that we want to. Well,
We'll
not today,
talk in
but
between, but
we'll talk, yeah.
Hogwarts Legacy will come back in a few months.
yes, there will be other
definitely.
games.
Cool.
That
Have
we're
a good
gonna
one.
Talk about. But anyway, Zaffa,
Nice.
cheers.
Cheers. Where do you click again? Oh yeah.
I like that closing. That was good. Okay, so yeah, there you go, guys. I mean, that is what we think. What two of the people who've played the game a lot more than we have think of the game. We ourselves have not played it enough to actually give
I
any
haven't
kind of
played
score.
it enough, but I still.
But
also
so far,
agree
the game
10 out of
is.
10.
I agree with Pengu and Zaffa. It's definitely a Sky. It's the Skyrim of our of this section of Game Edge for now.
Skyrim 2023.
Yeah, it's Skyrim 2023. Yeah, this is the new Skyrim, basically. I agree. It's going to become like that, where it's actually that good. So it's good to see. But yes, guys, thank you so much for actually watching us. Pengu, any last words? Any words of wisdom that you can expunge upon people?
Plays it or wants to play it?
Well, if you were on the fence about whether this game was worth it or not, because let's face it, it's not the cheapest game out there.
It's not,
But
no.
if you're on the fence of whether or not it's worth it, it's worth it.
Yeah, there you
If
go.
you are a Harry Potter fan, 100% worth it. If you're not a Harry Potter fan,
It's still
Still
you
worth
can
bloody
be a
good.
wizard. Still worth it.
Yeah.
Do the thing.
Exactly. I mean,
Yes.
from my side, as a Lord of the Rings fan, guys, you know that I'm a big Lord of the Rings fan, and I will always take Lord of the Rings over Harry Potter, always. However, does not mean I don't like Harry Potter, and holy crap, I like Harry Potter, and I like this game. Well, I like Harry Potter, but I like Hogwarts, or this Hogwarts Legacy so much. It's really good. Where the day Lord of the Rings comes out with a game like this, I might just give it praise too. But at this point, Hogwarts Legacy is definitely worth the purchase. I am not disappointed in the purchase at all, and I've only just started the game. Angel, what do you think?
10 out of 10 so far, and I've just played the beginning. I haven't even fully played the game. I haven't even sorted into my house yet, and I already like the game.
And there you go. That's from, and that's just our opinion, though. Guys, you need to play the game for yourselves to see what you think of the game. And when you do, leave a comment down below and tell us what you think of the game yourself, so that what we can tell the rest of the world, so that you know how good, how bad, and how freaky you think the game is. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining us. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed listening to our lovely guests. Thank you again for joining us, Pengu. Much appreciated. And
Thank
guys,
you, Zaffa.
and thank you, Zaffa, yes. And guys, as always, remember, bye.